Thanks, George. Our Newport Gulls pregame show continues. Now time for the manager show. Joined as always by Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs. Skip, how are you today?
Good. It's a nice day out.
Looking forward to a doubleheader today for the Newport Gulls. Pat Light to start in Game 1, Mark Appel in Game 2.
Yeah, Light and Appel. That's what we're throwing at them, and hopefully they'll have 2 great outings today.
One change in the lineup from when this game was started. Of course, the Gulls come into the game with a 2-0 lead. Derek Legg takes over for Chris Taylor, who's no longer on the Gulls roster.
Right. Leggy, well, he's been playing there all year, so that's perfect matchup right there for him.
What's it like for the players to come into a game like this where the game has already started? They're going to start the game with a 2-0 lead in the top of the 4th inning with the runner at first.
Just like any other game. Just that we got a guy in first and nobody out, no count, and 2 runs up. So it's, it's baseball though. So you never know how long that two run lead will last. You're hoping it'll last the rest of the game.
Danbury is a team that has struggled in recent years, but this year they are dangerous. They are in tops in the NECBL Western Division and have been leading the league in hitting along with the Gulls for much of the year.
Yeah, they've had other teams in the past. I've been here since '05, and they've had some other teams in the past that have beat us during the regular season. So, yeah, they've always been on, they've always had some pretty good teams here and there, but this year they've gotten hot at the right time.
Of course, the Gulls with 2 today. They'll go on the road tomorrow to take on the Sanford Mainers, back to Eastern Division action. And then the All-Star break, 2 days off. But there'll be no day off on Sunday for 8 Newport Gulls.
Right, and that's a great no day off. So they can get out there and get after it. That'll be great.
The Newport Gulls getting set to take on the Danbury Western. Of course, Matt Blow will participate in the Home Run Derby for Newport.
Yeah, we really feel that Matt will be able to do that. So that's why we selected him.
Newport Gulls manager Mike Coombs, thanks for joining us here in the pregame show. Catch up with you next week.
All right, buddy.
That's our pregame visit with Mike Coombs. Newport Gulls baseball is next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And hello once again from Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island, as the Newport Gulls pregame show continues here in Game 1 of this twin billing. The Newport Gulls getting set to finish up a game that began back on June 22nd at Rogers Park in Danbury, Connecticut. I'm Nick Lima, joined by Melissa Barrett and George Bissell here in the NECBL Broadcast Network. Melissa, welcome to Cardines Field.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course, the nice, beautiful day for baseball here as the Gulls get set to take on Danbury. The Westerners are on top, tying with North Adams, first place in the NECBL Western Division.
That's right. We've actually been on a great winning streak so far. We're 8-2 in our last 10 games, and fortunately, we haven't had a real 9-inning game since Saturday, last Saturday, so it's been a little while since we played a full game of baseball here.
After a hot June and early July, rains have come here in the last week, and they've given a few teams around the NECBL some rainouts, including the Newport Gulls, who've had their last 2 contests rainout. They were scheduled against New Bedford and also against the
Keene Swamp Bats.
I
actually spoke with the Keene broadcaster, and he said that they actually made it out to Newport, and then it started to rain.
We'll be getting set for baseball here fairly shortly as George Bissell here in the booth. George,
how you doing
Gulls
today, Nick?
Back here at home. Doing well, George. How are you?
Well, the Newport Gulls are set up to pick up 2 wins today. They have their 2 best starters, 2 All-Stars going today. Pat Light is going to pick up where Dexter Price left off in the first contest in the 4th inning. And then Mark Appel gets the nod tonight against the Danbury Westerners. Nick?
So the pregame show continues. We'll come back and give you first a wrap-up of where this game stands right now. That's next as the pregame show continues on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. Our Newport Gulls pregame show continues. Today, in Game 1 of this doubleheader of sorts, the Gulls will be resuming the game suspended by rain in the top of the 4th back on June 22nd. And Newport facing Danbury really for the first time this season in this game.
Technically, I mean, we have a different starting pitcher this game because unfortunately we lost one of our pitchers that was here. We also have a couple different people playing the positions out in the outfield and everything. So it's going to be definitely a different feel in the game today than it was those first 3 innings.
So here's how this game gets started at 6:30 and rain in the forecast in Danbury back on June 22nd. Max Krakowiak, who's no longer with the Westerners, as you mentioned, had the start. Cal Johnson, David Bentrott, and Kane DeKruger will lead things off for the Newport Gulls. Johnson reached on a single. David Bentrott walked. DeKruger then struck out. He was fouled by Bryce Nugent, who grounded out the second baseman. The pitcher covered the bag, but the run scored. Cal Johnson crossed the plate. Newport took a 1-0 lead. Kevin Caranto would single. Matt Blow doubled. That brought home David Benchart. There was also a wild pitch in the inning, and Brendan Kilhurst struck out to end the inning. The Gulls stranded a pier, but took a 2-0 lead in the first inning on 2 singles, a walk, and a double. Go to the last of the first. Dexter Price had to start for the Newport Gulls. Price had a 1-2-3 first inning. Retired Tucker Nathans on a fly out to center. Brian Barry retired on a fly out to right. Jimmy Brennan struck out looking. Went to the second inning. Connor Harrell will lead things off with a single. Chris Taylor, who's no longer with the Newport Gulls, would strike out. Then Cal Johnson, who led off the game with a single, would bounce into a 6-3-6 double play to end the inning. To the last of the second, another solid inning for Dexter Price, who was pitching well in the ball game. Of course, the rains came shortly thereafter. Derek Ingwe came up to bat. Ingwe at the time leading the NECBL in hitting, popped up to the pitcher. Dave Chokey came up next. He bounced out. And then Anthony Hadger came up and singled, stole a base, but Brandon Boudreaux fly to center to end the inning. To the third inning, David Benchart would lead things off for the Newport Gulls. First pitch swinging and a ground ball to the shortstop. Canada Kroger came up next. He bounced out 5-3 in the first pitch swing. Then Bryce Nugent on a full count would hit out another ground ball to the third baseman. So on 3 ground ball outs, Max Krakowiak got the side for the Newport Gulls. To the last of the third, it'll be Michael Williams to lead things off with a single, but the Gulls defense turned a sharp 5-4-3 double play when Rhett Stafford hit into the left side of the infield. Tucker Nathans followed, and he bounced out to the pitcher. Then we went to the top of the fourth inning, and I assume it was raining at that point in Danbury.
I'd assume so. I actually wasn't present at this game. It was our home broadcaster that was doing this, but I know that it was suspended just about this time.
That's when Kevin Caranto came up. He saw 2 pitches, a 1-1 count, and he singled off of Max Krakowiak. But that is when the rains came and inundated Rogers Park in Danbury, Connecticut. The umpires called a delay. Then the game was later suspended officially. And, of course, we'll be resuming that here when we come back. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues. We'll have starting lineups, out-of-town scores, and much more still to come. About 15 minutes of first pitch here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field here in Newport, Rhode Island. Newport Gulls and Danbury Westerners getting set to play a doubleheader of sorts today. We'll play game 1 through 9 innings, assuming we don't go to extra innings. Of course, in game 2 to follow, scheduled at 6:35. That could be changed depending on the length of game 1. It will not stop before, of course, 6:35 p.m. That will be a 9-inning contest as well. Mark Capel has to start for the Newport Gulls in game 2. First, your scoreboard around the NECBL. Action around the league today. A full slate of action, all teams playing. Laconia is at North Adams. This is 6:30 start time. North Shore at Vermont, also 6:30 start time. Bristol Collegiate Baseball Club is on the road at Sanford. And more interdivision play today. And Lowell in interdivision action is at Holyoke. New Bedford Bay Sox on the road at the Keene Swamp-Ats. Of course, we'll play 2 here today. Game 1 start at 3:30. Game 2 at 6:35 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. As we get set for baseball, look, first a roundup of action around the league last night. Newport Gulls are off following a couple straight rainouts previous 2 days against the Keene Swamp-Ats a couple days back. And the New Bedford Bay Sox 3 days ago. Around the league last night, the Lowell All-Americans shut out the Vermont Mountaineers 8-0. Bristol Collegiate Baseball Club defeated the North Adams Steelcats 3-2. The Sanford Mainers on the road defeated the New Bedford Bay Sox, dealing them a loss 3-1. And the North Shore Navigators just squeaked by the Holyoke Blue Sox 9-8. So that's your action around the NECBL. The Danbury Westerners not played the game since July 12th when they played Team Canada.
Exactly. That didn't even count towards the standings, so we haven't actually had a standings-affecting game since Saturday, July 10th.
So really, both teams should be well rested going into the game tonight. Of course, it was mentioned in our pregame show by Newport Gulls General Manager Chuck Paver in the front office report segment. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, having a lot of rest.
Absolutely. We've had the 6 days of rest. If you exclude the game against Team Canada, we've had a lot of times where we were going to the fields and then they would get rained out, so we'd schedule a doubleheader for the next day, and then that got rained out. So it was a little kind of little bit of a weird miscommunication with the weather, especially. But we have a lot of games coming up due to makeups and everything like that. We have Monday. We were supposed to have Monday and Tuesday off after the All-Star game. We no longer have that. We're playing both. We're playing actually Lowell. We're finishing up the game from July 11th, and then we're going straight to Keene afterwards. And then Tuesday we're playing Holyoke, and then we're going to Holyoke on Wednesday.
The Gulls have a relatively easy stretch here. They'll travel to Sanford tomorrow after this twin billing, have the All-Star game at home here on Sunday. They're off on Monday for the break, and then return to action on Tuesday at home. Go back on the road against Laconia Wednesday, and at home to Lowell on Thursday. In the NECBL Eastern Division right now, the Gulls are a game and a half back of the first place North Shore Navigators, who are 18-11 on the season. North Shore will be in action tonight, and a North Shore loss and a Gulls sweep of this doubleheader could put the Newport Gulls back in first place, tied with the Navigators. Newport at 16-12. Sanford Mainers at 17-13, a game and a half back, tied with Newport. Laconia Muskrats are in fourth place. They're 2.5 games back. Lost 2 straight games, 15-13. Bedford Bay Sox at 12-18. Now 4 games out of a playoff spot, are 6.5 games back. And rounding out the NECBL Eastern Division, the Lowell All-Americans to 7-20. They have lost, after losing a dozen straight games, they've won their last 2, but remain 10 games back. What's it look like right now in the NECBL West, Melissa?
Well, the Danbury Westerners are actually sitting atop of the Western Division with a 17-10 record, even though, so for not playing in a week, we still are at top, which is pretty good for us. North Adams Steeplecats are actually tied with us. We have a higher winning percentage. They're 19-12, followed by Bristol Collegiate in third with a 16-15 record. Keene Swampettes finish up and round out the top 4 with the 14-16 record, 4.5 games back. Vermont Mountaineers are 13-17, 5.5 games back. And finally, the Holyoke Blue Sox are in last with a 12-19 record and are 7 games back in the Western Division.
So that's your look of action around the league last night and today, and your division standings. We'll come back in a little bit with starting lineups. That's next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back here at Cardines Field. Our Newport Gulls pregame show continues with starting lineups for today's ball game. First, what's the starting lineup look like for the visiting Danbury Westerners? We're actually in the home team position for this suspended game.
Exactly. Well, we have pretty much the same batting order as last time up. Up first will be Tucker Nathans, the second baseman, who moved over from shortstop. Brian Berry will be second in left field. Jimmy Brennan, center field, third. Batting cleanup, Derek Ingwe, the third baseman. Batting fifth, Dave Chokey, the first baseman. Batting sixth, which in replacement of Anthony Hajar, who is out for the season with a torn hamstring. Brian Kanaki, the shortstop. The batting seventh, Brandon Boudreau, the DH. Batting eighth, Mike Williams, the catcher. And batting ninth, Rhett Stafford, the right fielder. And our new pitcher is Bryce Larman.
They'll face Pat Light.
Pat Light so far this season, he's a freshman from Monmouth University. He's selected to the All-Star game, a right-handed pitcher featuring a fastball, a changeup, and a slider, a 1.13 record, 4-0, 7 appearances, 5 of those starts. He's 32 innings pitched, only 6 earned runs allowed, and he leads the team with 29 strikeouts.
The starting lineup for the Newport Gulls, Kyle Johnson leads things off. Johnson starting in center field. Of course, this lineup very similar to the one that began the game in Danbury. David Bentrott, the shortstop, bats second. Kenny Kroger's the third baseman. He bats third. Bryce Nugent, the catcher, hits cleanup. Batting fifth, Kevin Carato, the designated hitter. Matt Blows, the first baseman, batting sixth. Brendan Killers gets the start in left field. He bats seventh. Connor Harrell starts in right field, batting eighth. It had been Chris Taylor. He was released by the team shortly after this game. So Derek Legg will round out the order for the Newport Gulls and will enter the game at second base. Starting pitcher for the Danbury Westerners, Brian Larman. What can you tell us about him?
Larman has a record of 2-2 with 27.2 innings pitched. He has 23 strikeouts on the season, which is obviously really great. A 3.58 ERA. He's had a little bit of tricky trouble in the past couple of games that he's been pitching, but he really has worked on his control a lot. And his first game he ever saw, he had a record 15 strikeouts against the Holyoke Blue Sox.
Umpires for tonight's game, John Leeds calling balls and strikes behind the plate, and Jeff Merzel will be the field umpire. Game time temperature at 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies, and the sun is starting to break out here at Cardines Field. Southwest wind blows at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's blowing in a little bit here tonight. That will definitely affect play as the Newport Gulls and the Danbury Westerners get set to resume this suspended game here at Cardines Field. It began at Rogers Park back on June 22nd. And in the top of the 4th inning, the Newport Gulls lead Danbury 2-0. A runner at first, nobody out. Kevin Caranto at first base. Number 6-man lineup, Matt Blow, will be batting. And of course, it's an away game of sorts for the Newport Gulls. It will go on the books as a road game, regardless of the outcome here today. And the regularly scheduled home contest for Newport coming up at 6:35. Mark Appel, the starter for that one. We'll have the first pitch next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field to get set for baseball. I'm Nick Lima, joined by Melissa Barrett and George Bissell here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Managers Jamie Shevchik and Mike Coombs going over the ground rules right now with home plate umpire John Leeds and field umpire Jeff Merzel. Kevin Caranto will be standing at first base. Matt Blow will bat here with nobody out and a 2-0 lead for Newport in the top of the 4th inning. Bryce Lahman will enter the game as pitcher for the Danbury Westerners. The defensive changes for Danbury as Tucker Nathans moves from shortstop to second base. Brian Barry moves from second to left field. Dave Chokey moves from left to first base. And Brian Konaki enters the game at shortstop for the Westerners. Again, Bryce Lahman pitching. The only changes for Newport, Derek Legg will take over the 9 spot for Chris Taylor at second base for the Gulls. And of course, Pat Light will replace Dexter Price, who went 3 innings of scoreless baseball, struck out 1, allowed 2 singles. The key double play ball before this game was suspended by rain back on June 22nd. We'll resume here in just a few moments as we get set here. Before we do that, we're going to pause and take 10 seconds for station identification here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
NCTV 18 Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD, Newport Gulls Baseball celebrating 10 years on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
A reminder that this copyrighted telecast is the exclusive property of the Newport Gulls Baseball Club and the New England Collegiate Baseball League, presented by the authority of the NECBL Broadcast Network for the entertainment of our listening and viewing audience. It may not be reproduced, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game cannot be disseminated without the express written permission of the Newport Gulls and consent of the Commissioner's Office of the New England Collegiate Baseball League. Well, the Danbury Westerners not taking the field yet as we're waiting first pitch here. There's a lot of action going on around the league later today. This is the only early afternoon game, though. As Newport gets set to face Danbury here, the Westerners in first place in the NECBL West. And the Newport Gulls are tied for second in the NECBL Eastern Division. We're going to step away here and come back with the first pitch. That will be next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Now we're set for baseball back here at Cardines Field. Getting underway about 5 minutes late. The 3:30 scheduled start time. We're starting about 3:35 as Bryce Lahman warms up on the mound for the Danbury Westerners, who've taken the field in their black road uniforms. I'm Nick Lima, joined by Melissa Barrett, and here to take you with the play-by-play story for innings 4, 5, and 6 of this contest is George Bissell.
Thank you very much, Nick Lima. Obviously, the esteemed voice of the Newport Gulls. This game is a rescheduled game, let's remind our audience, from June 22nd. This game actually started at Danbury, but now is being finished here at Cardines Field in Newport. Kevin Caranto led off the 4th inning with a single before the game was suspended due to rain. He stands on first base. Matt Blow will step to the plate here to get things going. It's a beautiful day here at Cardines Field. Sunny 75. The sun has come through the clouds. South-southwest wind today. And we're about set to get started here. Matt Blow is going to step into the batter's box, get things going. Tall left-hander. Selected to the All-Star game, of course. 7 Newport Gulls selected to the All-Star game. That will take place here at Sunday at Cardines Field. For position players, Bryce Nugent selected at catcher. Kevin Caranto at first base, Brendan Kelleher in the outfield, and Matt Blow was selected as the designated hitter. For pitchers, the closer Seth Simmons was selected as the starter at his position. Pat Light and Mark Appel were also selected to roster. The first pitch from Larman, swinging a drive by Blow out into right field. This ball is gone. It's gone. Matt Blow takes the first pitch he sees from Bryce Larman and sends it over the fence in right center field for a 2-run homer. And the Gulls are up 4-0 in the 4th inning.
Well, the Newport Gulls waste no time. First pitch swing in this game, and Matt Blow will be greeted by the whole team at home plate. The 2-run shot over the 28-foot fence in right field. I don't think anyone told him the home run derby doesn't start here till Sunday.
My manager Mike Coombs said they wanted to get a couple of runs on him early with a man on base to start this game. Didn't think Matt Blow would rip the first pitch. That's a no-doubter over the fence. Ball absolutely crushed. Now Brendan Kelleher, the left fielder, is going to step in here with nobody on. And the first pitch that he sees is outside for a ball.
That's the first home run that Bryce Larman has allowed this season. Blow's second-round tripper.
Definitely not a way you want to start off the top of the 4th inning.
Certainly not.
Pitch outside for a ball, 2-0.
Well, maybe for you guys, not for us, though.
Certainly not the way Bryce Larman wanted to get his day started. Of course, Matt Blow, a guest on our pregame show for the Gulls Eye View. Kelleher lines the pitch to right field. Right and over, this ball is going to drop for our base hit. And Kelleher going into second base. He is safe. Throw not in time. Rhett Stafford couldn't come up with the ball in right field. And Kelleher gets all the way into second base.
So what an inning this has been here for the Newport Gulls. It began on June 22nd with a leadoff single by Kevin Caranto. And the first pitch swinging, Matt Blow hits a 2-run bomb here on July 16th. Now Brendan Keller, a double. Still no one out yet.
The ball looked like it was initially going to be caught by Stafford. He went into a slide and couldn't grab it. Ball got away from him, and Kelleher managed to get into second safe. So Kelleher, the man on second. In the box now is Connor Harrell. Curveball taken high. And a couple different pitches from Bryce Larman to start this game. Fastball. Looks like a changeup and a curveball so far we've seen from Larman. His 1-0 pitch is in the dirt, ball 2.
I think because my view was blocked by a pole at that point, I couldn't see if he looked like he had the ball, but I guess it must have touched the ground before he actually
Yeah, it might have
caught
been a trap out there in right field. He did signal to the umpire that he caught it, of course.
It's a close play nonetheless. Kelleher's on second. 2-0 pitch is outside in the dirt, and it's 3-0 to Connor Harrell. Harrell on the season batting .265, 13 for 49 with a homer and 7 RBI. Freshman from Vanderbilt University, highly touted. A 3-0 pitch from Larman. Ball 4, taken low. And now the first 3 men have reached base against Bryce Larman to start this game.
What a restart here for Newport.
Certainly couldn't have asked for any more.
Nice cushion for Pat Light, too.
Certainly. He's in search of his 5th win before the All-Star break. An American soldier means one thing. Derek Legg steps into the batter's box. Wearing number 4, he's replacing Chris Taylor, who struck out in the second inning back on June 22nd. He has since been released by the Newport Gulls, so Legg's in his place. He squares the round to bunt and bunts it foul up the first base line.
Yeah, Taylor struck out on a 2-2 pitch from Matt Krakowiak, who was also released by Danbury. That was in the second inning of this game on June 22nd. Taylor, in 9 at-bats for the Newport Gulls, hit .333. He went 3 for 9 with a double, a walk, no RBI, and was released about a week after this game.
Derek Legg pinwheels the bat. He's set for the 0-1 pitch. He squares around a bunt and pulls the bat back. That's a strike.
From what we're told, Taylor wanted more playing time, so Gulls got an in for him in the Coastal Plains League.
Of course, we're going to see another old friend from the Newport Gulls. Kevin Kilpatrick will be the starter for the second game. He started 1 game for the Newport Gulls and was released, according to sources. Ball in the dirt. He wanted to be closer to home.
He's from Westchester County, New York originally, which Danbury is right borders, so it is a lot closer to home than Newport is.
Certainly understandable.
Danbury's maybe, what, 45 minutes from New York City? Or
About
even less?
45, 50 minutes on a good day.
1-2 pitch is fouled straight back into the on-deck circle. Kyle Johnson able to grab it.
There's not too many good days with traffic going into New York.
That depends on when you're going. If you're going at 1 o'clock in the morning, there's not a lot of traffic. But we even saw traffic coming out of the city at 10 o'clock at night once. So really just is a hit or miss.
Working from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch from Larman. He's going to step off the mound. Kelleher dancing around at second base. So Larman's going to reset here. Derek Legg, the batter. 2 men on. The 1-2 is lined into center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. It was softly hit, however, and Kelleher's going to have to hold at third base. The bases are loaded with nobody out, as the first 4 men have reached against Bryce Larman.
This is another one. This is actually one of our players' walk-up songs as well.
It's, of course, a new walk-up song, Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson hasn't played it in a while, am I correct, Nick?
Yeah, Johnson had some soreness, and he's back in the lineup here. Of course, he was originally leading off this game.
He's been in and out of the lineup in recent weeks, dealing with some injury problems. Of course, the Gulls only have 4 outfielders on the entire roster.
And we're told they will not be getting any more either. They have to live with what they have.
First pitch is high and inside for a ball. So this game in danger of getting away from Bryce Larman and the Danbury Westerners early. The bases are loaded. Matt Blow led off with a 2-run homer on the first pitch of the game. I should say of the restarted game. Pitch is popped up on the infield. Under it is Kochi, and he makes the grab. Choki.
I always just remember it from the movie Matilda, or the book Matilda, if you want it. The Chokies where they had to hold those little kids that were bad. That's how he told us to remember it. So.
Last time that Johnson played, by the way, July 10th, and the Gulls took on New Bedford. Paul Walsh Field.
So Kyle Johnson pops out to the first baseman, Choki. And there's one down. The bases are still loaded for David Bentrot, who got the start back in the game on the 22nd. Big breaking curve in there for a strike. Bentrot walked and came around to score a run in the first inning, and then grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning of that game. This is his first at-bat today. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
John Leeds, home plate umpire, local man, resides in Portsmouth. Teaches driver's ed in Tiverton. Volunteer firefighter as well. Been umpiring a long time in the ACBL.
Jeff Merzell out patrolling the field. Ground ball. The second baseman steps on the bag for one. The throw is high and not in time. So an RBI ground out for David Bentrot.
Go in the books as a fielder's choice for an assisted. If Bentrot his 3rd RBI of the season, the Gulls jump out quickly to a 5-0 lead.
It looked like it was going to be an out, but Tucker Nathan's throw took Choki off the bag. And instead of a double inning-ending double play, it's an RBI ground out for David Bentrot. So now in the plate is Kenny DeKroger, who leads the NECBL in batting average. He takes the first pitch low for a ball. Kenny DeKroger on the season, 36 for 94. That's good for 383 average. He also leads the team in doubles with 7. Freshman from Stanford University. A 1-0 pitch to him. Swinging a drive deep to left field. This ball is gone. It is a 3-run homer for Kenny DeKroger, his 2nd of the season. Just an incredible start to this ball game. Kenny DeKroger touches them all. And the Newport Gulls have blown the doors off this one here in the 4th inning.
What a blast by DeKroger. That one cleared the 28-foot high fence in the left field, landed in the playground, Cardane's playground, behind the fence out there. Fortunately, no little children out there right now.
No, 395 to clear that fence. It's also 28 feet high. Of course, right over the Newport Fed banner and out of here. So
RBI 12, 13, and 14 for Kenny. The Gulls lead 8-0.
It's incredible.
I don't even have anything to say right now.
Spencer Larman, there's 2 outs, and the bases are empty for Bryce Nugent. First pitch into him is a strike.
Gulls offense has left you speechless, Melissa.
Absolutely. Would you say this park is a more batter friendly or pitcher friendly?
Certainly pitcher friendly.
Swing and a miss, strike 2 to Nugent.
That have anything to do with the really high fences in the
Well,
outfield?
actually, no. I mean, certainly batter friendly, given the the lack of foul territory here.
I was gonna mention that there was really no foul territory. It seems the outfield's quite wide.
The 0-2 pitch is fouled off by the 1-2 pitch fouled off by the All-Star catcher Bryce Nugent. So now the Gulls can bat around if Bryce Nugent reaches here. Kevin Caranto, who led off on the 22nd, will reach the plate. Ball in the dirt, 2-2.
Well, not a good start at all for Larman, who's allowed his first 2 home runs of the season on 4 hits here in the 4th inning.
The 2-2 pitch is high and outside.
His
Full
stats,
count.
he's an ERA at 3.58, 2-2 in 5 starts, 27 2/3 innings, 14 runs, 11 earned, 24 hits, 14 walks, 23 strikeouts. Had a complete game shutout.
Another payoff pitch grounded foul.
That shutout coming on June 8th versus Holyoke. One hitting 240 off the freshman right-hander out of the University of Dayton.
So the payoff pitch again from Bryce Larman. Taken outside for a ball. And Nugent walks. That'll be Bryce Nugent's 8th walk of the season. Now the man who leads the team in walks, Kevin Caranto, comes to the plate. Caranto led off the game, the 4th inning on the 22nd with a single. Came around to score on Matt Blowe's 2-run homer. That, of course, one of 2 home runs in the inning now. So Nugent on first base. First pitch is inside to Caranto. So 1-0. And there's 2 outs in the inning. 1-0. Taken low for a ball. This inning getting away from Bryce Larson fast. It's already 5 hits and 6 runs for the Newport Gulls, who've now batted around. The 9th man at the plate right now. 3-0 inside to Caranto, looking to draw his 21st walk of the season.
And Larman certainly seems pretty shaken up. He's wearing the high stirrups. Don't see that too often.
The 3-0 pitch. Get me over strike. Called out there by John Leeds, our home plate umpire tonight. So now the 3-1 pitch to Caranto, swinging a ground ball to second base. Up with his Nathans. He underhands to second base for the force. So a 4-6 force out. But the Newport Gulls strike for 6 runs on 5 hits. They leave 1 man on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Newport 8, Danbury nothing. Pat Light, the new pitcher on the mound for the Newport Gulls. He is replacing Dexter Price, who went the first 3 in this ball game back on June 22nd. Allowed only 1 hit and 1 base runner through 3 innings. Now Pat Light's going to get the ball. He's in search of his 5th victory, and he's got an 8-run cushion here. So far, 7 appearances, 5 starts, a 1.13 ERA. Out of Monmouth University, the freshman. Pretty impressive start for the Newport Gulls, especially in the rotation, Nick.
Yeah, the Gulls really had a great month of July so far, and with all these days off, the offense just came out swinging, and they hit every strike they saw.
Got things started off on a great note. A 6-run top of the 4th inning. Collected 5 hits. Matt Blowe, a 2-run homer. Kenny DeKroger, a 3-run blast over the left field fence. And it's 8-0. Pat Light looking to set down the Westerners. His first pitch. It's a strike over the outside corner to left fielder Brian Barry.
Barry's batting .218 right now. He has 1 home run on the season in 22 games with 9 runs and 12 hits.
Pitches inside for a ball. Barry flew out to right field in his only at bat on the 22nd, where he started at second base. The 1-1 pitch is a breaker down low. 2-1. Just an offensive outburst. You talk about all the days off. Players anxious to get out here, swing the bats again. Pitches inside for a ball. Pat Light hasn't walked many batters this season, only 11 walks. He's in danger of walking the leadoff man here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Barry has 10 walks on the season on his record.
The 3-1. Fouled. Back and out of play. Just a beautiful day for baseball here in one of the great parks in this country, Cardines Field. 3-2, swinging a ground ball past first base, foul. Sounded like he broke his bat.
Yeah, he did. He'll go back to the dugout.
So Barry's going to go for a new bat here. And we'll set the defense for you. The outfield from left to right, Brendan Kelleher, Kyle Johnson, and Connor Harrell. On the infield, Kenny DeKroger's at third base, David Bentrout at the shortstop, Derek Leggs at second, Matt Blows at first, and Bryce Nugent is behind the plate.
Yeah, the only change in the game, Derek Legg at second base took over for Chris Taylor, who was released. Wish him luck in the Coastal Plains League. It's an all-around class act.
He was a good man. Fierce competitor for the Gulls in his time here. Of course, Kevin Kilpatrick, see him, another player released by the Gulls. The payoff pitch is a breaking ball, and home plate umpire John Leeds rings up Barry, who strikes out looking. Pat Light, who leads the Gulls in strikeouts at 29, adds number 30. That's first batter he faces.
This is the 17th time that Barry has fanned this season. Of course, John Leeds characteristically will have a wider strike zone, and he's been an umpire here for a long time. He's called several championship series here. He was the home plate umpire for the 19 strikeout game for Chase Reed here back on the 4th of July. Last time we saw him, in fact, was here on July 4th. The Gulls took on the Bay Sox.
That's the game the Gulls won. Pitch low in the dirt to Jim Brennan, the center fielder. He struck out looking against Dexter Price back on the 22nd. It's his first at-bat at Cardines. Swinging a foul into the screen behind home plate. Evens the count.
Jimmy Brennan is actually one of our all-star starters for the game. He's one of 4 starters for Danbury. He'll be the designated hitter for the entire game.
It's good to hear. Of course, the designated hitter for the Gulls be competing in the home run derby.
Matt Blow.
He already showed his home run strength. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Showed his power. Hitting a deep blast to right center field for a 2-run bomb. It's 1-2 to Brennan. Pitches inside. 2-2.
Of course, Chris Moore, manager for North Adams Steelcats, will be the coach for the West All-Stars. Jeff Waldron of North Shore will coach the East. Not sure if they invited the other coaches to join them.
I believe our coaches are coming.
The 2-2 is outside for a ball.
It's been tradition. Usually, Mike Coombs has managed it now 4 times. Each of the time he's done it, he's invited the other coaches from around the NECBL.
Certainly a class act, Mike Coombs.
Has that reputation.
The payoff pitch from Pat Light. Swinging a ball-fisted foul.
And 2-time manager of the year, 2006, 2009.
Of course, he had to watch the NECBL championship game last year from the same parking lot Kenny DeKroger launched a ball into today. Sending smoke signals. Another payoff pitch. Breaking ball in the outside corner. Caught looking is Brennan. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Pat Light.
Brennan did not look like he liked that call at all.
Not at all. He had some words for Leeds, but
it was the patented backdoor slider from Pat Light. That's the reason he hits so many right-handed batters. That slider just backs it up over the inside part of the plate. That time on the outer half to the left-handed hitting Brennan for his second strikeout of the inning. And now Derek Ingee, who's playing third base. First pitch is inside to him.
Ingwe's one of our top hitters. He's batting .320 right now. He has 2 home runs on the season, 5 doubles, and 32 hits.
So Ingwe, he popped up to Dexter Price, and his only at-bat. Swings and lines the ball into center field, but it's caught there by Kyle Johnson, who fell down, got back up and made the play. So no hits, no runs, 2 strikeouts for Pat Light in the inning. It's 8-0 Newport. We go to the top half of the 5th inning here from Cardines Field on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field here on the Newport Gulls NECBL Broadcast Network. The Gulls have jumped out to an 8-0 lead on the strength of 2 home runs by Matt Blow and Kenny DeKroger. 6-run top of the 4th inning off Bryce Larman, who came in relief. He's out there for a 2nd inning of work, certainly hoping for a better half inning than his first one. In steps Matt Blow, who took the first pitch of this one for a home run. Strike. First pitch from Larman.
That's definitely a better start.
Certainly didn't throw a lot of strikes, and when they were over the plate, the Gulls were all over him. The 0-1. Blow swinging a drive into center field. It's off the fence. Blow rounds first. He's going into second base. Over covering is the right fielder. Stafford, he throws it in. That ball lined over the head of the center fielder Brennan and off the wall. He had to be backed up by Stafford there. Blow, not the fleetest of foot, had to hold up at second. But now he's reached base all 3 times in this game, as that's a single. Actually, it's 2 doubles now and a home run from Matt Blow. This game has just gotten away from Danbury.
Jimmy Brennan actually isn't used to playing outfield anymore. He got injured in a game against Keene back on, I believe, June 28th.
First pitch to Brendan Kelleher is a strike on the outside corner.
So he hasn't seen like any outfield play since then. So this is a probably a little bit strange for him, but he's been DHing a lot.
Especially with the outfield dimensions here.
And the fence juts in around 365. It's a tough angle for any outfielder to play off, especially one who's not used to being out there, as you just mentioned, Melissa. So it's 1-1 the count to Brendan Kelleher. Last pitch outside. So Bryce Larman trying to get out of a jam here. Swinging a ground ball past third. Oh, comes up with it. Ingi. Throw is not in time. It gets away from Chokey. And this has just been a mess for the Danbury Westerners. Brendan Kelleher scoots into second base. So that is going to go as an E5. Official score, Josh Leibowitz. Do we have a ruling here?
Yeah, Josh says it's going to be a single and an error. So a single for Kelleher, picks up his 2nd hit of the ball game, then an error on the throw as it was off out of Chokey's reach. It's the first error of the ball game.
So Ingi is charged with an error.
Ingui.
It's a tough name. We have a couple tough names. It's all right. We get them.
So
we get some weird ones.
So Ingui's error allows Blow to reach third base and Kelleher to get into second base. There are 2 men in scoring position. Nobody out for Connor Harrell. First pitch outside to him. Swinging a foul ball right back into the screen ahead of us.
Lucky for us, that screen is there.
Of course, the ball hasn't been hitting the screen a whole lot here at Cardines.
No, it's been hitting the posts and other the weird things that hold up the screen, not the screen itself as of late.
So it's 1-1 the count. We're correct here. Larman, big breaker in there for a strike. It's 1-2 to Connor Harrell. Harrell walked and came around to score on the 3-run homer by DeKroger last inning. 1-2 from Larman. Breaking ball over the head of Harrell.
The Westerners, a team ERA 3.76. That's 8th best in the league. Opponents hitting .235 off their pitching staff, though 33 errors now and .968 fielding percentage. That's 5th best. They've only turned 18 double plays. That's in 10th.
We also have the most stolen we also have the most stolen bases though in the league with about, I believe, 69. We're at right now.
Westerners very fast around the bags.
Once we get on them.
It's always a struggle against Pat Light, one of the best pitchers this summer in the NECBL. It's a full count on right fielder Connor Harrell. Pitches outside. Ball 4. They're loaded up for Derek Legg.
Well, certainly not good here for Larman, as of the first 11 batters he's faced, 8 have reached
This is a tough outing for Larman. He's going to have to grind here and give the Westerners some innings.
His last I did get the loss at Keene, went 5 1/3 innings.
Of course, these are the type of outings that inflate pitchers' ERAs. The base is loaded. Second baseman Derek Legg. First pitch to him is on the outside corner for a strike. Legg singled last inning. Was erased on the fielder's choice. Sorry, Nick.
That's all right. You had the right of way.
The 0-1 pitch from Larman. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Yeah, I don't think the Gulls will be taking too many now with an 8-0 lead. They'll be free swinging. I think Kevin Winterroad's going to have an easy job at third base coach now from here on out.
Just keep those arms waving. Give us a windmill, Kevin.
I wonder if that's actually one of their signs. You never know.
It could be. Of course, Derek Legg not going to bunt here. The 0-2, swing and a drive. This one lifted into right field. Under it is Stafford. He makes the catch. Blow tags from third. He's going to score. Kelleher over to third base. So it's an RBI on the sacrifice fly for Derek Legg.
Well, a 9-0 lead now for Newport as Legg picks up RBI number 18 of the season. We tied for first on the team with Brenton Kelleher.
Amazing offensive outburst here. So Blow scores his second run of the ball game. The runner on third is Kelleher. First pitch, Kyle Johnson, who's retired, on a pop-up to first base.
Definitely some intriguing fan commentary coming up, floating up here to the press box.
Pitch is low for a ball.
All the diehards are here right now. Of course, we'll have probably a sellout tonight.
Connor Harrell's at first base. Runners at the corners. 2 outfielders. And it's a strike over the inside half plate. All 3 outfielders actually out there for the Gulls right now. Kelleher at third. Harrell at first. And Kyle Johnson at the plate. Bryce Larman's pitch. It's a breaking ball taken inside. It's 2-1. Three-1 the count. Missed a pitch there. It's hard to keep score of all these hits. And the count. 3-1 pitch is fouled off. It's full count now. Kyle Johnson.
It's the third time he's worked the count full in the batter. He walked the last 2.
It's not his sharpest outing for Larman. Even the outs have been loud at times here.
Here's 2-2 in 5 starts.
The payoff pitch, swinging a ground ball past the glove of Nathan into right field for an RBI single. Kelleher scores, and it is now 10-0 Newport on the RBI single by Kyle Johnson.
The Gulls have opened up their biggest lead of the season on an opponent.
This is just bad. I don't know what to say.
Well, we're finally seeing some offense from this Gulls team that's been quiet most of the year. The home run totals have been down.
Well, they
Batting
started
average is
quiet
down.
here in July, only scoring 3 runs each of the last 4 games.
Also, historically, it's a quiet year for the Gulls. Big breaker in there for a strike. David Bentrot. He grounded into a fielder's choice. That turned into an RBI, and then DeKroger followed with a home run the next at bat. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
They've now collected a dozen hits in this game.
Incredible.
So 4 of them, or rather 5 of them, came back on the 22nd of June.
So there's only 1 out. 2 men on. Swinging a foul ball over the stands in right field by the picnic area. It remains 0-2 on David Bentrot. Getting the start at shortstop today. Swinging a fly ball lifted into center field. This ball is going to be caught out there in center by Brennan. Didn't get a good read on it. Was able to get under it.
Bentrot now 0 for 3.
And there are 2 down for Kenny DeKroger, who homered in his last at-bat. It's a 3-run shot. It's his second home run of the year. He's also leading the NECBL in batting average, a .383 average coming into today. First pitch to him is way outside for a ball. Of course, Larman probably not going to give him anything to hit here. With 2 men on, 2 outs. The 0-1. Big breaker in the dirt for a ball. Freshman named to the All Pac-10 team. All Pac-10 Freshman of the Year. 2-0 pitches inside for a ball. DeKroger hasn't drawn many walks this season. He's only drawn 4.
Skulls went 10-10 in June. They're now 6-2 here in July.
3-0 pitches in the dirt, ball 4. So there's that elusive walk for Kenny DeKroger, and the bases are loaded for Bryce Nugent, who walked in his last at-bat of the day an inning ago.
It's a rare walk for Kenny. His 5th of the season. That's the home run you might think would extend his hitting streak to 12 games. It does not. Because this game started on June 22nd, does not count towards it, and he had to go on hit list between then and now.
That's the stats will be counted towards the final totals. First pitch is a strike to Bryce Nugent.
So if he does have a hit later on today, it would be 12 hits, and that would make him give him the 3rd longest streak in the NECBL this season.
One of the great contact hitters in the league this summer. The 0-1 pitch, swinging a fly ball into right field. Stafford coming in, it drops. And coming in to score is Connor Harrell. So it will be an RBI on the single for Bryce Nugent. Just a tough play coming in. Looking into the sun, Stafford couldn't come up with it. And another run scores. And it's getting hard to keep track of all these hits here. But
And they're approaching a season high. They had 16 in a game in June.
Now Caranto steps in for his 3rd at-bat of the day, swinging a foul behind the plate. Of course, he was on first base to begin this game as it resumed from a suspended game back on the 22nd. They recorded the final out last inning. Swinging a ground ball to first base, and it gets away. Everybody's safe. The ball is booted by Chokey, and that'll go likely as an error. That's an error there. Josh Leibowitz gives us a sign. So that's going to be an E3. Allows Caranto to reach. And Matt Blow steps in for the 2nd time this inning. He led off with a double and came around to score.
Well, Gulls have not batted around in consecutive innings in 3 years.
So we're seeing history today. Could be. Bryce Larman laboring through 2 innings, breaking ball in the dirt. Matt Blow.
This is definitely a Danbury team you haven't seen since probably last year. I'd say like I said, we're first place right now in the Western Division. This is
We did not expect this at all.
It's a little bit strange for me. I don't really know what to say.
Swing a drive. This ball is driven deep to right field. It is off the wall. Rounding 3rd. And coming in to score is Nugent. Right behind him is Caranto. 2 runs come in on the RBI double by Matt Blow. This game is just getting out of hand. Blow's 2nd double of the inning.
I don't know how much longer they can leave Rahman in. And he's now, the Gulls lead 15. Is it 15-0?
I think it's 14.
14-0. The scoreboard
nope.
is wrong.
15. Oh, it's 15 to nothing. So if our scoreboard is correct here at Cardines Field, it's 15 to nothing. Larman is going to be charged. Well, actually, he's given up.
It is
13 runs, but not all of them will be charged after that error in the inning.
2 errors in the inning now.
2 now. Jeez. What's the other error? Throwing error.
This is really getting out of hand.
Larman swing and a miss. to Brendan Kelleher. So this is just an incredible offensive explosion by the Newport Gulls, padding their totals heading into the All-Star break here. Ball in the dirt. Nice save there by Williams.
Williams is the starting catcher for the Western Division All-Star team.
Obviously, we didn't expect this at all from Danbury, leading the Western Division in wins, first place. They've been playing great this year, just haven't really shown up in this resume game. Swing and a pop-up behind the plate. Williams gives chase, and it's off the dugout roof here, behind home plate.
Well, Matt Blow now 4 for 4 with 3 doubles and 4 RBI with a home run. What a day at the plate for him.
It was the pregame chat. It was the pep talk I gave him during the Gulls Eye View. I think I fired him up. Talking about the All-Star game, the home run derby. I think he's fired up.
I think he forgot that today is not the home run derby, but in fact an actual game.
He's hitting like a swing and a single into center field. Blow is going to be held at third base, however, as Brandon got to it quickly and Kelleher's on base. And this is just incredible. How much longer can Larman
I think they're probably going to
continue?
try and get him for this last out and then take him out of the game.
Yeah, they cannot leave him in. This
Oh
game
my.
has just gotten completely out of hand with the Gulls leading 15-0. It's now the widest margin that they've had on an opposing team in the last decade.
So Connor Harrell, who walked and came around to score on the RBI single by Kyle Johnson. Actually, excuse me, he scored on a different play. It's Kelleher who scored. But regardless, first pitch to Harrell is a strike.
The Gulls have scored more runs than they've scored in any other game this season now.
It is just a jumble. Strike 2 to Harrell. Larman just trying to get this inning over with. It's been a disastrous outing. The runner at third is Blow. Kelleher is at first base. The 0-2 pitch to right fielder Connor Harrell. Here it is, swing and a miss, strike 3, and the inning's finally over. So the Gulls lead this one 15-0. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th inning here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field. As we'll pause here for 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the NECBL Broadcast Network.
NCTV 18, Newport County, the World Wide Web, and on DVD. This is Newport Gulls Baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
Pat Light is back on the hill for his second inning of work here today.
He's got a lead to work with now.
He's got a pretty sizable cushion here. Safe to assume, barring a miraculous comeback, that Pat Light will get his 5th win before the All-Star break here. He's got a 15-run cushion. He's back out there. Struck out the first 2 men he faced.
Dave Chokey up for the Danbury Westerners. He's hitting .316 with 2 home runs that actually just came in the past 2 weeks. He's been a hot hitter in July.
The 0-1 pitch to Chokey is a strike. It's quickly 0-2. Pat Light just throwing strikes here, trying to end this one quickly. Pitch to contact, especially with a big lead like he has. So the 0-2, ball in the dirt. Don't look like a slider that got away from Light there.
Let's say the Gulls defeated the Sanford Mainers 13-1 back on June 27, 2002. It's a 12-run margin.
So now there've been 16 hits and 15 runs for the Gulls. Only 5 left on base. Matt Blow 4 for 4. 3 doubles and a home run to start today. Swinging a ground ball. Up with it is Ben Trott. He throws it over. Blow makes a nice play. That's out number 1. So 6-3 on the putout.
I think Bentrop might have some friends here tonight.
Of course, the Irish guy's not here yet. They'll be here for the second game of this day-night doubleheader.
Gulls defeated the Holyoke Giants in a 17-3 win here at Cardines Field on July 6, 2004. It's a 14-run margin.
We were just marveling at the fact that Larman, they just left him out there. First pitch to Brian Konaki is a ball. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Kanaki, yeah.
Konaki. The 1-0 to Konaki is a ball inside.
With Konecki, he's famous.
He is. He did the leaping. He flipped over the catcher for a Fordham game. And he was actually in second place for the votes for the SB Play of the Year, behind Brett Favre, which I still think he should have won, but that's just me.
Swinging a fly ball. This one lifted into right field over his leg. He makes the route.
And he was a YouTube sensation, wasn't it?
9 million hits.
It's just incredible. I have to ask him about that play. Is he on the All-Star roster?
He is not actually. He hasn't been playing a lot of games. I don't think he has a 211 batting average right now as well.
Fortunately, we won't be able to do a dugout interview with him. Of course, my favorite moment of the ESPYs is the Steve Carell, the decision parody. Paul Rudd. I thought that was the best moment.
Absolutely, that was funny.
The first pitch to Brandon Boudreaux.
It's French.
Yeah. Some tough names in this lineup.
Is Bissell French?
We'll muddle through it. Yes, it is. French and Italian heritage. It's classy. Second pitch is a ball outside to Boudreaux.
This is now the highest scoring game since July 11th, 2009 at Lowell, when the Gulls defeated the All-Americans 17-6. Chad Arnold, of course, had the win in that one.
Poor Salicardi. Of course, he's having a tough year this year as well. 1-2 is the 1-1 is a strike. Pat Light working quickly. Trying to go 1-2-3 for the second inning in a row. Boudreaux, the designated hitter, started the game on the 22nd. And that's a strike, so it's strike two. It's 2-2, actually.
Something like that.
Oh, I missed that.
This is the second largest margin the Gulls have led by in the last decade.
Right. Ball outside, runs the count full.
At Danbury, at Rogers Park, against the Westerners, July 25th, 2007, the Gulls won 16-0. Adam Wilk had the win in that one. The Gulls had quite a game. That was on 8 hits. They won 16-0.
Swinging a foul back in the
that
screen.
one?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I know that Rogers Park is a very hitter-friendly park, so it might have been
Certainly.
might have had something to do with it.
Add this one to your record books, folks. The Gulls are blowing out the Westerners. Ball 4. So Boudreaux works a walk. So there's a man on for Michael Williams, a catcher. He has one of 2 hits for this Danbury lineup. That came against Dexter Price.
All I can say is thank goodness we finally got a base runner on.
Gulls ended the game with 15 runs. That was July 19, 2003, also at Lowell.
So noticing a trend here. Here in the bottom of the 5th at Cardines. This man on first base is Boudreaux. There's 2 out. Michael Williams, first pitch from Pat Light. Swinging a line drive past the third base bag. That's going to roll all the way down the line. Fielded out in the left field. And they got him. Wow, an excellent throw by Brandon Kelleher to Derek Legg covering second base bag. And Michael Williams is thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double. And the side is retired. No hits and 1 man left on base.
1 hit.
1 hit.
Or 1 hit. That's right, it goes to the single. So 1 hit, 1 left on base. The Newport Gulls lead 15-0 here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field in beautiful sunny Newport, Rhode Island. George Bissell, Nick Lima, Melissa Barrett on hand here to watch this ball game. The Newport Gulls lead it 15-0 here in the 6th inning, and we have a new pitcher for the Danbury Westerners, Matt Alvarez.
Matt Alvarez is, he has no record. He's pitched 3 2/3 of innings. He's allowed 7 earned runs off 6 hits, 7 walks, 5 strikeouts, and an ERA of 17.21. But of course, that was just from 1 game. You can't judge a book by 1 game, obviously. So hopefully he'll be turning it around for today. He did pitch against Team Canada, and unfortunately he did let up a couple of runs. And it was a tough game on him and he's definitely trying to prove himself that he can be, one of those pitchers that can do really well in relief. So we definitely are hoping the best for him today.
Yeah, this will be the 5th appearance out of the bullpen of the season for Alvarez. He replaces Lahman, who, believe it or not, is not in line on the hook in this one. On the hook is Max Krakowiak, the starter back from June 22nd.
Alvarez, first pitch to Derek Legg, is lined down the right field line for a hit. Legg rounding first base. This ball rolls all the way into the corner. Stafford up with it. He gets the throw into second base, but it's not in time. Derek Legg leads off the top of the 6th with a double. And the Gulls are in business once again.
I think that's their 15th hit.
We're going to have to cross-reference our stats. It's hard to keep track of all of this, certainly. Last official score, Josh Liebitz, for an official ruling here on the hits. How many?
16 hits, rather.
So there's 16. So was that hit 17 then?
Now that was hit 16.
That was hit 16. Okay. Just correct the book here. So 16 hits now, Derek Legg. We're only off by a little there. Not a stretch. We're just enjoying this beautiful afternoon at Cardines Field. Matt Alvarez, first pitch, gets lined into right field for a hit. First pitch, Kyle Johnson is fouled down the left field line.
Definitely a lucky break for the Westerners if that pitch was ruled foul. That would have been a tough play made by Ingwe.
Certainly Legg would have came around to score. If that were fair. Kyle Johnson had an RBI single his last at bat. Takes strike 2 from Matt Alvarez.
How many of the Gulls leave on base in the 5th?
There have been 2 left on base. They're runners at the corner.
So they've
And
left
then Harrell
5.
struck out to end the inning.
So at 16 hits so far, they've left 5 on base total.
Blow and Kelleher were stranded. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Matt Alvarez blows away Kyle Johnson. Goes down swinging.
Well, last time the Gulls started off a doubleheader so well, it was here on July 18, 2005. Northampton's Tebow Cats were in town. They took the first game 14-4. Game 2, 17-5.
Incredible.
17-6, I stand corrected.
David Bentrot, shortstop's inning. First pitch is popped up. Second baseman is under it. Tucker Nathans makes the play. Bentrot is retired.
You could hear catcher Williams yelling at Tucker to catch the ball.
Somebody has to make the plays out there. Been a couple defensive lapses, 2 errors already in this one. Throwing error and fielding error.
Call that like a lazy error, I would say.
Certainly, and there was a chance to get a double play back in the 5th. Alvarez misses upstairs, and they didn't turn the double play on Bentrot, and DeKroger hit a 3-run homer on the next pitch.
Well, the Gulls have really hit Danbury hard on July, of course, for the pitch.
We had a foul ball.
July 21st, 2004, at Danbury, the Gulls won 14-2. Mitchell Boggs had the win in that one.
Of course, Mitchell Boggs now pitching for the St. Louis Cardinals. Used more as a middle reliever, not a top-of-the-line setup man. The 1-1, swing and a miss. A rare swing and a miss by DeKroger.
I guess you can say this guy is definitely someone you don't want to see up with any runners in scoring position.
One of the best at making contact. DeKroger has it all. Speed, power, and a great eye at the plate. The reason he was all Pac-10 as a freshman. Swinging a line drive. This is going to be caught. It's a diving catch out in center field by Jim Brennan. Makes a nice play to save a run. Side is retired. 1 hit, 1 left on base. It's still 15-0. Newport Gulls will go to the bottom of the 6th inning here on the NECBL Broadcast Network. All-star Pat Light is back on the hill for the Newport Gulls. He has a 15-run lead to work with. An incredible game so far. One of the largest margins of victory for the Gulls in recent memory if the score holds up.
I wanted to ask this before, but if a pitcher has been released by a team that started a game and we're finishing it, can he still get the loss even though he's not playing for us anymore?
That's an interesting question. I believe so, because Chris Taylor, another player who was released, who had started this game, which of course took place on the 22nd. Was suspended in the 4th. First pitch is inside to Rhett Stafford. Chris Taylor is going to be charged with a strikeout here because it can't be charged to Derek Legg. So I'm assuming he could pick up a loss. Am I correct, Nick?
Oh, yes.
Swinging, this ball is hit deep to center field, and it's gone.
Woo.
So the first run allowed by Pat Light. It's a home run for Rhett Stafford. That ball driven over the center field fence. It's a solo shot. That's now 15-1.
Yeah, he hits his first round tripper of the season. Of course, the Westerners lead the NECBL on home runs. That was number 23.
Unless they could string together a couple more long balls.
Came on a 1-0 pitch.
Well, right now is the leader of the long ball for the entire NECBL, Tucker Nathans. He has 5 on the season, which you wouldn't think is a lot, but it's enough to get him in first place.
Traditionally, the Gulls are leading in that category. Not the case this year. They've had a couple today. First pitch is outside. Pat Light's perfect record on the day is blemished. Ball 2.
I think the Westerners are just relieved that they're not being shut out anymore.
Certainly never want to be shut out by a team.
Apparently, you guys are now winning 24-1.
Which is a strike. That's a faulty scoreboard there. We've been having problems for years with it. That old thing.
Now that would be a game I'd like to see. Someone winning 48-0.
Swinging, this ball lifted into left field. Brendan Kelleher barely has to move. He's under it. He makes the catch.
Go back to that July 25th, 2007 game when Newport won 16-0 on 8 hits against the Westerners. They had 10 RBI in the game, were recipients of 12 walks. So
That could
5
explain a lot.
batters hit by pitches, 5 wild pitches, and a pass ball. So it was the Westerners pitching staff back in 2007
Say that.
that caused that big win for Newport.
So now Brian Barry steps in. He went down by way of the K his last time against Pat Light. First pitch is a strike.
Mike Coombs was the manager then.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
He had a 6-run ninth, already leading 10-0 in that game.
With the 1 out, the 0-2 pitch to Barry. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Pat Light getting the job done. Here today, it's his 3rd strikeout. He's allowed only 2 hits. Of course, one of them a solo home run. And now stepping into the box is Jim Brennan, who made a diving catch to end the 5th inning. Actually, to end the top of the 6th inning, excuse me. Pat Light, distinguished high school career. Christian Brothers Academy went 20-0. Swinging, this ball lifted down the left field line. Kelleher makes the catch on the run. So 1 hit, 1 run, nobody left on base. It's now 15-1. Danbury gets on the board. We'll have you next for the 7th inning on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Cardines Field on a sunny day here in Newport. It's 15-1 out here at Cardines. Say hello to everybody here. And now, to take you with the play-by-play story for the final frames, here's the voice of the Danbury Westerners, the lovely Melissa Barrett.
Thank you very much, George. Up to bat now for the Newport Gulls is Bryce Nugent, the catcher. Matt Alvarez is still on the hills. He takes the first pitch and hits it, and it's a diving catch by Kanaki. Throws it over and
What a play.
gets him for the out. That is an amazing catch by Kanaki right there. That definitely attunes for some of the errors he's made in previous games earlier on in the season. He kind of had a rough start to the season, but now is definitely settling in a lot as Kevin Carancho is how you say it, the designated hitter for today's game, steps up to bat.
Caranto, 2 for 3. Reached base 3 times, pair of singles, a run scored, he showed an error. A really sensational stab by the shortstop.
Absolutely, as the first pitch is called for a ball, I believe. Ball 2, the count now 2-0.
Of course, this looks like a pretty good lineup for the Gulls. With the Kroger batting third, Nugent fourth.
Swung on a hit over to the second baseman, Tucker Nathans, who fields it to Chokey for an easy out. 2 outs already in the top of the 7th inning.
Well, this is what the Westerners need right now, just to get those out, get this game over with and in the books and behind them, and reset their mindset for Game 2 tonight.
Now the first baseman, Matt Blow, who is someone that nobody really wants to face anymore in this Westerner pitching staff, I can imagine.
He's now 4 for 4. He's got 3 doubles and a 2-run homer.
It's up there for ball 1.
The Irish fans are here, the Irish Army. Light tonight. Looks like a couple of them out there, Colin McDonald, Killian Nolan. They got the snare drum.
You can hear the drum,
ball
yeah.
2.
You can hear it on the broadcast there.
2 balls and no strikes.
Surprised they got this beautiful day off from caddying out here at Newport.
Might have skipped out early, maybe.
Yep, you can watch the 3 of them out there now. Actually, I don't see Colin or Killian yet.
Fouled back. Count is now 2-1 on Blow.
Listen, back in 2007, these Irish soccer fans were just working here in Newport for the summer. They lived in Ireland, came to a game, and they've loved it ever since. They've never missed a game since 2007. Now some of them are getting their citizenship.
Wow, and it's fall back again to count now 2-2 against Blow.
And they love the Gulls so much, and they stand the entire game. They've got chants and cheers for every player. They've brought a little bit of European football into American baseball, and they've fallen in love with the sport. Playoff time, they'll paint their faces.
The 2-2 fouled again, so the count remains 2-2. That's pretty impressive. I mean, it's nice to see that Europeans are enjoying a normally American sport. I know soccer's become a lot bigger now in America now that the Americans are doing much better in the sport. Alvarez deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Alvarez. Definitely something that he really, really needed for the Westerners as they go on. No hits, no runs, and no errors. We'll take you into the bottom of the 7th when we return on the NECBL network. Welcome back to the lovely Newport, Rhode Island here. The Gulls are leading the Danbury Westerners 15-1. One run coming off a home run by Rhett Stafford last inning. Up first for the Westerners is going to be Derek Ingwe, the third baseman, who flied out his last time up at bat while here in Newport. Pat Light is still on the hill for the Newport Gulls. And you can definitely hear the Irish fans now.
You usually can't hear them. They number 12 to 15 for the night games because of the fans, which are so loud here, 2,000, 3,000 people. Very audible now.
First pitch is drilled over into deep center field. It's going back, and off the wall. It looked for a second like there was a home run, but he gets into second safely with a nice double, stand-up double for Derek Ingwe.
That is the third hit that Pat Light has allowed. Single, solo homer, now the double high off the wall. It juts in a little bit in left center.
It's a little strange but now up to bat for the Westerners is Dave Chokey. Chokey grounded out to third base last time up at bat. He was pretty close to actually beating out the play. He's one of our fastest runners. He's leading the team in stolen bases with 12 so far this season. There's a little bit of a meeting over at the mound between catcher and pitcher, but it looks like Light's going to stay in the game. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't. Ingwe at second, nobody out for Dave Chokey, who's really been a July hitter, I could say. He's had both of his home runs in July. He's just been doing absolutely phenomenal this month so far. First pitch is called inside for strike 1. Ingwe has a couple steps off the lead at second as he pops it up to shallow shortstop, and it is able to get the pitch for the first out of the inning. Ingwe remains on second, very smartly so. Up to the bat now is Brian Knacky, the shortstop for the Westerners. He is the one who made that diving catch last half inning. He also almost won the ESPY last night, or 2 nights ago now.
Certainly athletic. We'll give him that.
We all still think he should have won over Brett Favre.
Favre already has enough awards.
Exactly. First pitch to Konecki down the middle for strike one.
He was up against a living legend, you can say that. He almost bested Brett Favre.
And he bested that play by the Chicago White Sox pitcher through the legs, and he also bested Marlon Rondo from the Boston Celtics. I didn't really see why that was on there, though. It's fouled back and made me jump there for a second. Really glad that that fence is there. Otherwise, I might have hit me in the face.
So Melissa, you don't sound like a Celtics fan.
I am from Connecticut, but I'm originally from New York, and I just don't like basketball to begin with.
Ah. There you have it.
0-2 count on Konecki. Strike three. Konecki looked a little confused there for a second. I think maybe he had the count different in his head.
Yeah, he did a double take on John Leeds.
It's just, I don't know what to do.
Up now will
Shrugs.
be a pinch hitter for Brandon Boudreaux. This is Thor Meeks, our alternate catcher, so he's going to be taking over. Thor Meeks is our representative in the Home Run Derby on Sunday. Meeks was another one who was kind of flailing in June, but has really come out into his own in July. He also has one of the coolest names, as dubbed by our keen broadcasters in baseball, Thor Meeks.
Thor.
Like the superhero. And the Norse god.
MEEKS.
Strike one to Thor.
Of course, the best one is when Joe Castiglione just says Saltalamacchia. It's one of the great experiences you'll ever have.
Long-time Red Sox play-by-play man.
There's Dave O'Brien, his partner now.
A 1-1 count now to Meeks. Meeks is from Marshall University, along with our right fielder today, Rhett Stafford. We have a Brett on our team, too, so it gets a little confusing at times with names. The 1-1. Outside for ball two.
It's a hard slider there. Missed the outside corner to the right-hander.
Seems to be only 2 Irish fans over there right now.
Yeah, they may have sent one over to the concession stand for a bite.
They
They
get
did.
hungry. They get hungry out there.
1-1. Up high for ball 3. So now it is 3 balls and 1 strike.
Gulls hitting 274 as a team. The Westerners hitting 275 lead the NCBL, but of course that will change after this game.
I'd say so. The Gulls probably took the lead in that. Just a hunch. They might have taken the lead in that one. That is ripped, and that bat is broken.
They sawed him off completely.
That bat basically snapped in half.
Yeah, he was left just holding the handle.
He really had nothing left when it was all said and done.
Let's watch the replay
There
on
he is.
that one.
They just shattered it.
Oof.
Oh. Of course, wood bats a lot less dangerous than aluminum bats.
The aluminum bats also don't break as easily as wood bats.
Well, that's
Or at least we hope not.
oh no, you're not going to. Of course, we had our guest on the Newport Gulls pregame show.
Hey, Robert Zorian. A long conversation with Rob in the pregame show from the Zorian Bat Company for our partner at the Gulls, and we're providing the winning bat for the Home Run Derby competition, a golden bat.
Of course, they're located on 960 Reservoir Ave, Cranston, Rhode Island.
Yep. Where the Gulls began back in 98 rather. First began playing 99.
Storied
3-2
history.
walk. But as they walk, it looks like he is carefully handling that bat so he doesn't break it. So it's first and second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Mike Williams, the catcher, who singled and was caught stealing to end the inning the last time he was up at bat.
And he's 2 for 2. His singles have come now on 2 different days. June 22nd here on 7/16.
So he is one of our only batters that is doing actually well against the Newport Gulls.
That's a game Danbury will certainly like to forget fast, and they have to with another one coming up at 6:30.
I'm sure on the bus at home they'll pretend that there was only one game today, and that was the second one.
This was a scrimmage.
Exactly. This was batting practice for them.
The thing Newport has to focus on here is you can't let the momentum swing Danbury's way. There is another game coming up, so you want to slam the door on this one quickly.
The 1-0 count to Williams. High for ball 2.
You can send us an email, broadcast@newportgulls.com. That's broadcast@newportgulls.com. We want to know what you think about the broadcast.
Williams takes a minute. Very inside for ball 3. 3-0 now the count on Williams.
It's up to 80 degrees now. It's 75 at game time. The sun has come out and warmed us up a few degrees. Finally break through the clouds.
3-0. 3-1 now on Williams.
Well, the wind has picked up a little bit. You can't really tell from the flag. The true indicator across the street at the visitor center.
3-1. Fouled back. That hit the top of the dugout there, so the count is now full, 3-2.
It's another ball that misses the screen. Behind home plate at Cardines.
You always seem to hit the wooden frame.
Can never seem to hit that speaker, however. Waiting for the day.
Play against with it static all year.
The 3-2. Fouled away. We'll do it again.
Turn up our effects microphones here to hear the sounds of Cardines Field without much of a crowd here.
Williams gets a moment to set. We'll go again with the 3-2 count. Is lined over to the third baseman who gets it for the final out of the inning. That'll be a double to lead off the inning by Derek Ingwe and a walk to Thor Meeks, but they are unable to capitalize on it as they go down. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We're going to the top of the 8th when we come back on the NECBL Network. Welcome back to Newport. Matt Alvarez is on the mound for his 3rd inning of work after Bryce Lyman allowed 13 runs, but not all of them were earned, as I've been told. There are a couple unearned there, but still in double digits. It's never good, but Matt Alvarez has not let up any runs since then, which is obviously good news for Danbury. First up will be Brandon Kelleher, I believe, for the left fielder for the Newport Gulls.
Of course, the NECBL All-Star Game here in Newport on Sunday. George, you have the whole itinerary and schedule for what we look forward to see there.
We do. Of course, Saturday, just tomorrow, at 6 o'clock, the cocktail reception at Salve Regina University.
Orchard Mansion.
It's on Ocean Avenue, I believe. Of course, we drove by there the other day.
Down Bellevue.
Down Bellevue.
Warren, we're getting ready to start the 8th inning. Strike 1 to Kelleher.
That'll be an evening reception at 9 o'clock at O'Brien's Pub, 501 Thames Street, the heart of downtown Newport.
The 0-1 out count. Bounced up, and it looks like it's going to go through for a base hit. That was poor calling on the second baseman and the shortstop there. So a hit to lead off the top of the 8th inning for the Gulls.
Gulls have their leadoff man for the 6th time now. But several former Gulls players coming in now as Newport is celebrating their 10th anniversary here in Newport tonight in the 2nd game. And several players already in town today, checking into hotels now.
Of course, the Gulls will be away tomorrow, as will I.
Connor Harrell hits one, and that is off the fence, and it's going to be fielded by Brian Berry, and it looks like he's going to be holed up at third, so he's going to have a stand-up double, so 2 hits in a row off of Matt Alvarez.
Well, that's a home run in many ballparks in the ACBL, including Danbury, but here, a high wall ball double. Hits about 20 feet up off the fence.
If that fence had been lowered just a little bit, that would have been a home run.
And they used to be lower, but they were raised about 10 feet.
We were just talking about this the other day. They raised the fences here.
And they've always been that height in straightaway center and left center and right center, but down the left field and right field, they were about 10 to 12 feet lower for many years.
Now is Derek Legg, the second baseman, who replaced the first second baseman you guys had in the beginning of this game. That is way outside for ball 1.
Chris Taylor.
Happy trails, Chris.
Alvarez seems a little bit shaken up from his first 2 hits. Low and outside for ball 2.
Sounds like a battle going on down the left field line.
It's the Irish Army. Interesting story about that snare drum.
Fouled back, the count now 2-1.
They found it in the basement of the apartment they're living in, a whole drum set, in fact. They thought about bringing the set in, but decided just to bring the drum.
Probably a smart idea.
Plus, the Irish fans live within walking distance just up the street here behind Newport's police station.
2-1 count in the dirt for ball 3. Alvarez might be letting the Irish fans get to him a little bit. I mean, it must be hard not to.
There's only 3 of them now. They'll have 15 or 20 later on tonight.
Oh my gosh, this should be interesting. 3-1 count to leg. Hit foul, so the count is now full, 3-2.
Of course, they make all the trips in the postseason to visiting ballparks, and they've not made too many friends on the road, cheering and shouting and standing the entire game. They wear face paint and paint their chests, and they really go all out.
So they will come on the road with the Gulls, you mean?
Yep, for the postseason.
Foul ball again, we'll do it 3-2 again.
A leg just protecting there, trying to stay alive.
Some of the leaders of the Irish Army got championship rings last season. Cole McDonald, Killian Nolan, they're really part of the Gulls family now. The Gulls flew them in for the hot stove dinner in the off-season each of the last couple years. Now Killian's working in the front office.
There you go, 3-2. High pop-up. Looks like it's going to be a third baseline, and it looks like...
It's a fair ball. It landed in fair territory. That's a single.
It's a very strange single.
No, it isn't. It bounced foul. Yeah, it's a foul ball because it bounced foul, but it landed in fair territory. Excuse me there.
That did look like it bounced in fair territory first, but obviously leg did the smart thing and went down to first base just in case.
Yeah, that was a good courtesy hop for the Westerners. If it bounced the other way, it would have been one of the strangest singles you'll ever see.
Surprised nobody made the play on that one.
That is hit over to Tucker Nathans, the second baseman. He'll get the force out at first, but a run will come in and score. So it's 16-1 now in favor of the Newport Gulls. That is a fielder's choice. And an RBI for Derek Legg. That will be his second RBI of the night.
So Legg now has 19 RBI in the team lead.
Coming up now to Kyle Johnson, the center fielder. Outside for ball 1.
Of course, Keller had the lead in RBIs, but he hasn't recorded an RBI today. He has scored 3 runs now.
He is 4 for 5.
Foul tipped into the glove, so it's strike 1. 1-1 count now on Johnson.
Johnson's 2 for 5, singled, scored, drove in a run, struck out, bounced into a 6-3-6 double play.
Strike 2. A 1-2 count with 1 out and 2 men on, first and third in the top of the 8th inning. Gets confusing because usually you'd see us on the mound in the bottom of the 8th. Just outside for ball 2. 2-2 count. The 2-2 in the dirt for ball 3. Full count, 3-2.
So the Gulls will come to bat in the 9th, even though this is a home game.
3-2. Almost hit him for ball 4, so now it is actually first and third with 1 out with that walk. Up now is David Bentrod, the shortstop, who has a nice Elton John song for his walk-up. Nice classical taste. Throw over to first.
Of course, they call him Benny in the dugout.
He's become an excellent force defensively for the Gulls.
Really a fan favorite, second year now with the team.
It doesn't give you much at the plate, but he makes up for it with his effort on defense. He makes spectacular plays at shortstop. Splitting time with Kenny DeKroger. He's the team's leading hitter. So it's a good platoon for the Gulls.
That is hit over the line for a single over to the left fielder. Barry, that'll bring in a runner for a 17-1 lead now.
Well, that's Ben Trout's first hit of the ball game. He's now 1 for 5. His second RBI, his 4th of the season. And with that, every Gull who restarted this game has now recorded a hit. The only Gull who's appeared in the game that didn't have a hit, Chris Taylor, who struck out back on June 22nd. He went 0 for 1.
If only Taylor had singled, every Gull would have a hit.
Kenny DeKroger, the third baseman, called high for ball 1.
Oh, that didn't miss by much. Huh.
I thought that was a strike for a second, but of course it's up to the umpire on that one. So 1-0 count with 1 out and 2 men on. It is drilled over to the right fielder, Red Stafford, and I have no idea what is going on.
I believe it went off the warehouse, so it's a foul ball. Of course, if a ball lands on the ground in fair territory before hitting the warehouse, it's in play and it's a fair ball. But if it hits any part of the warehouse before hitting the ground, it's a foul ball down the right field line.
Okay, well that is very good to know. So it's a 1-1 count now on DeKroger.
Of course, we've had issues up and down the left and right field lines this season.
I can see why.
It's the shared bullpen out there in left field, with benches alongside.
1-1.
Oh.
High pop up, center field. Brennan has it, and they're not going to advance, so they're still going to be first and second now with 2 outs. Smart idea by the runners. As Bryce Nugent, the catcher, comes up to bat.
And Nugent had a pretty good game, 1 for 4. Had an RBI ground out in the first on June 22nd. An RBI single on the 5th. He's walked and scored.
Looked like Kenny got under that ball. Definitely over the plate. Had a chance to drive it.
Low for ball 1. The count is 1-0 against Nugent.
Got some great names on this All-Star team. Matt Chavez.
High for ball 2.
Casey Kalinkowski from Laconia.
Jim Schultz representing Sanford in the outfield, on Matt Avery from North Shore, Matt Miller from Lowell. Brendan Keller will be reserve.
Pop up to infield. Nathans calls it for the final out of the 8th inning. Newport Gulls get 2 more runs on the board, but leave 2 stranded on 2 hits, I believe, and a walk. We're going into the bottom of the 8th inning as we return from the NECBL Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Newport. Newport Gulls are leading the Danbury Westerners astounding 17-1. I have no words for that, to say the least. Pat Light is still on the hill for the Newport Gulls.
This game now tied for the highest scoring game for the Gulls. They've scored 17 runs 4 other times in team history, and also the highest margin of victory if it stays this way, tied with that game like they played against Danbury back in 2007. That one at Rogers Park when they won 16-0.
Up to bat for the Westerners is the only reason they have a run on the board, Red Stafford, who hit a long shot home run over center field his last time up at bat.
It's the only run Pat Light has allowed. Came in with an ERA just over 1. Not going to lower it today unless he shuts out the Westerners his final 2 innings.
That was right down the middle for strike 1.
Just giving away kids' t-shirts here tonight at the gate. Other Gulls memorabilia.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. I don't really know what he was swinging at, but he probably shouldn't have done that.
Would have needed an oar to hit that one.
Or, you know, twice the size of that bat.
Fans just rolling in here now.
Fouled up, count 0-2.
That
Maybe they heard the score was 17-1.
Nick, I'm surprised the All-Star broadcasters aren't going to be taking batting practice this year. I know that's been a tradition.
What
The
was that?
broadcasters taking batting practice is usually
Yeah.
an All-Star game
Yeah,
tradition.
they won't be doing it this year because they got the Taisho drummers coming in.
I know you got a hit off Tommy John.
2006.
The 0-2 is inside for ball 1. Count is now 1-2 on Stafford. Now that would have been fun to do. I would have done it
Well,
in a heartbeat.
it's 17-1. There's time for a story here. Why don't we?
Put me up to bat for the Westerners. Popped up. It looks like it's going halfway in between the center field, and there we go. The left fielder has it. 4 out, number 1.
Well, they just announced that they're giving away free T-shirts here, and that's why all the loyal fans that showed up here for Game 1 are now exiting the ballpark and coming back into the ballpark with their own Gulls Chris Electric T-shirt.
Hey, why not?
They're giving away a lot of the surplus memorabilia tonight. Clear out the backstock.
Probably would have done the same thing. It's bad. It's the leadoff, or the original leadoff hitter, I suppose, for the Westerners. Tucker Nathans, the second baseman. Outside for ball 1.
Western's been out hit 19-5.
That is a ripped ball. It's going to look like it's going to pop up, maybe. And it's going to bounce off the fence for a base hit, so it's going to be a stand-up double for Tucker Nathans, who didn't look like he was running as fast as he normally does, probably because he knew he would get into second base on time. So that is a 1-out double for Nathans' first hit of the game, with Brian Berry now up to bat, the left fielder, who is 0 for 2 for today's specific game.
Third extra base hit off of Pat Light. The fourth he's allowed.
So that's now 35 hits allowed on the season, Pat White. He's done well, though, limiting the damage. Only 6 earned runs, 7 runs all season. Part of the reason is all the strikeouts.
First pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 1. The 0-1. In there for strike 2. Count is quickly 0-2 against Barry. One over the head of first baseman Blow, and it looks like Tucker Nathans is going to hold up at third, so it is a 1-out single and advances the runner to third, so it's 1 out, 2 on, bases first and third for Jimmy Brennan, the center fielder, who is one of our all-stars. Actually, the other one is Tucker Nathans, who's currently at third base.
Sounds like a low-flying aircraft overhead here.
It's coming straight for the Newport Visitor Center.
Of course, a very big transportation hub. Bus port there.
Of course, it used to be a railroad.
Train station as well, still active, the Denham train.
That runs all the way up through Portsmouth.
That's why we have this ballpark.
Outside for ball 1 for the first pitch against Jimmy Brennan.
Carnegie Field, once called Basin Field, back in the early 1900s, late 1800s. It was basically a catch basin for water for the steam engines that ran through downtown Newport.
High and outside for ball 2.
Eventually they drained the water. The residents complained about mosquitoes. They cleaned up enough room for a baseball diamond, and Cardenes Field was born. Named in 1935 after Bernardo F. Cardenes, the first Newporter to die in World War I for America.
It's going to come in there, first strike, so the count is 2-1 on Brennan. So you traded mosquitoes for baseball. I'll take it.
Certainly the residents rather take that, though now they have broken windows instead of itchy bites in their arms.
Don't know which one's worse. Probably the broken windows, I have to say, because those are more expensive to replace. 2-1 upstairs for ball 3. 3-1 count now for Brennan.
Hey, you do have a humongous lead here if you're Pat Light, but you don't want to be giving Danbury any hope here.
3-1 on Brennan. Grounded over to the second baseman, shortstop, and it is going to be in time for double play. So they almost get another run on the board, but unfortunately this grounded into double play is going to ruin that chance. So there were 2 hits on the inning, but 2 men left on base. We're going into the top of the 9th when we get back on the NECBL network. We're in the top of the 9th here at Cardine Field in Newport, excuse me. On the mound now for the Westerners is catcher Michael Williams. Williams actually does have a little bit of experience in pitching. When we lost to the Bristol Collegiate, I believe the score was about 14-2. He struck out the side and he kind of made a little blowing out the gun signal to the Bristol dugout, so they don't really like him very much. Catching now for...
Were they losing at the time?
They were losing, but he still struck out the side, so he was pretty proud of himself not being a normal pitcher.
Well, that's not being a class act.
It's being Mike Williams.
I guess so.
But catching for the Westerners now is Thor Meeks, who came in for Brandon Berjoy on the DH spot.
I feel like anytime you're up by that many runs or down by that many runs, no reason to celebrate either way.
First pitch is outside to the DH, Kevin Caranto. Outside again for ball 2, count 2-0.
Kevin very patient at the plate, leads the team with 20 walks. He's 2 for 4 tonight, this afternoon.
He was our guest on the Newport Gulls pregame show today. Happy to talk to him. He's always a great guy.
For count now 2-1.
What do you have to say? I missed the interview.
Well, he was a real class act. We talked about the upcoming All-Star game. He's pretty excited. Talked about shifting around. Playing on an assortment of positions, first base, DH, and right field.
2-1. Ripped over the line to our base hit into the very corner of the field, and he's going to stop it first for a single.
Well, that's 20 hits now for Newport. It's a season high by far.
Up to bat now is Matt Blow, who's been a force to be reckoned with here in Newport this afternoon against the Westerners.
Of course, our pregame show taped earlier. Matt Blow was our guest, so unfortunately, if you're watching the next pregame show, you're going to wonder, how come we didn't ask him about his 4 for 5 and with a 2-run homer so far today? Well, it was pre-recorded, so maybe we gave him a little spark there, brighten his day. Certainly a great guy, playing at Virginia Tech.
Count goes to 1-0 against Blow. 2-0, excuse me. Scoreboard's lights aren't working very well. 2-1 now.
I never
for
do.
Called strike.
Don't hold your breath.
Your Irish fans are trying to get into Williams' head. I'm just amused by this because he's normally our catcher, and he fouls back for the count 2-2.
Of course, the Gulls had a couple position players pitch for them so far this year. They've since been released. Kevin Carey pitched 2 innings. Well, had only a hit, 2 strikeouts.
They're probably just thinking, you know what? We're losing 17-1. Mike, you want to pitch? You can pitch. It's low, and it's a full count now.
The Gulls, I believe, have matched the all-time team record for hits in a game at 20.
I'm not really sure what the Irish are chanting, but it's a walk. They're very interesting here. There's 2 on with no outs for Brandon Kelleher.
So the Gulls have had 20 hits in a game twice before in franchise history, both times in 2004.
Inside for ball 1.
Of course, that back when the fences were lower as well.
And Chris Stanton on the team that year has still the all-time record leader in hitting at 406, or rather 408.
So we're going to miss strike 1.
Let's see, it was
1-1 the count.
This ballpark has changed a lot since 2004.
versus Holyoke at Cardines Field, 17-3 win. on July 6, 2004, 20 hits.
Fouled back.
Of course, Mitchell Boggs picked up the victory the next night. His first
1 and
win as
2.
a Gull.
Let's see, at Berkshire, one of the Berkshire Dukes of Pittsfield, the Dan Duquette Sports Academy. They had 20 hits and a 16-7 win.
The 1-2 swung and missed. Strike 3.
That game was on June 22nd, 2004. So they've done it twice, not since 2004. They've never had 21 hits in a game, at least as far back as our records go. So they have tied a franchise record.
Up now, Connor Harrell, the right fielder. Outside for ball 1.
No other games in action yet around the league.
I'd like to open up the page and see that score if you're another team.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
League.
1-1 count.
— 16 pitches off of Williams, 8 of them for strikes.
The 1-1. Called strike 2.
Last of the night for Danbury. They'll have the middle of the order. Ingui, Choki, and Konaki.
The 1-2 count for Connor Harrell. Low for ball 2, so the count's now 2-2.
Game 2 tonight. It's Newport Gulls' 10th anniversary night here in Newport. So funny how we're going back through the record books about the last 10 years in Newport here in Game 1. Gulls moved here in 2001, won the championship, first 2 years here.
Inside for ball 3, the count now 3-2.
See the attendance soar every year. Had the All-Star game now twice. Last time in 2005 when, coincidentally, they also won the championship. Of course, they won their 4th league record championship last season.
The 3-2 from Williams. Fouled back. Count remains at 3-2.
Newport set the all-time record for wins in the season here at Cardines Field in 2006. And went 32-10 under manager Mike Coombs. He's now the winningest manager in league history.
Good for him. That's a good. It's obviously good to hear. Fouled back again, and again that hasn't been hitting the fence. That's been hitting the wooden part below the fence.
The ancient backstop here that's over 100 years old now, we're told. Oh, not many records to confirm it.
We need some of those Irish fans to come down to Danbury. They're too high for ball 4.
I see the attendance, though, has been higher this year in Danbury than in past years.
Winning
Winning does do that for us.
will do that.
Derek Legg is up for the Newport Gulls and are now for the second baseman.
Base is jammed here. I mean, is that Jamie Shevchik?
That is Jamie Shevchik. It looks like Williams is going to get taken out of the game or have a manager's meeting, but
Yep. No.
I'm not really sure.
Looks like they're going to stick with him here.
Looks like someone's...
No way.
Nope, they're bringing in someone.
It's going to be the center fielder, Jim Brennan, coming into the mound. He looks like he's going to pitch. He's a left-handed pitcher.
I don't know if I've ever seen Jimmy pitch before.
He has not recorded. Actually, he's made one appearance this season.
Oh,
pitched an
yeah.
inning. The ERA of 18. Allowed 2 runs. Both those earned on 1 hit, 3 walks. But he did strike out 2. Faced 7 batters in that appearance.
So we'll keep it here alive during the pitching change.
They're just shuffling players around here. Uh-oh. See, Brennan sails the first warm-up toss into the backstop.
Yeah, he's smiling.
I don't know if Danbury really cares anymore for this game. I think they're just like, you know what? Why not?
Well, it makes sense, with the long stretch coming up after the All-Star break. Don't use up too much of the bullpen. Plus, game 2 coming up later tonight. They might need some more pitchers.
So that's a third of an inning pitch, and that'll close the book on Michael Williams.
Well, you can't close the book on him yet. He's responsible for all 3 runners on base here.
Well,
Give up a single, 2 walks, and a strikeout.
regardless, his day is over.
They didn't strike out the side here.
So I didn't catch who's replacing Brennan in center field. Do we have any? Do we know who's replacing Brennan out in center?
Let's see.
Looking at the numbers, 30.
Looks like
So there's Barry, the left fielder, and Stafford, the right fielder.
yeah, we can't get a shot here of the center fielder is what we need. He's already warmed up, ready to go.
Whatever, Derek. Derek Legg is in the batter's box here.
We have a couple changes here for the Westerners as Jimmy Brennan, the center fielder, comes out to pitch, and that first pitch is ripped over, and it is a missed pitch.
Is misplayed by someone.
By Rhett Stafford out in center field as a run will come in.
And
This
that
one, though.
is a new franchise record, Nick Lima.
21 hits now for Newport, and another new franchise record on 18 runs. The Gulls lead 18-1. Still threatening here. Bases remain loaded. Derek Legg drives in his third run of the game. He is now
It's 18
3
to
for
nothing.
5.
Just unbelievable. Caranto crosses the plate. So Kevin is around for the third time today.
Ball's high for ball one. I don't think Danbury, they're probably just going to be like, listen, we have another game after this. We'll redeem ourselves then. Nice pitch down the middle for strike one.
Did we figure out who's in center field?
Rhett Stafford is in center field, and Dave Toki moved to right field. Mike Williams is covering at first. It was fouled away, and it looks like it kind of went over the electrical wire over there. This has been a very interesting last 2 innings to call, especially this last inning, seeing as position players are actually pitching.
The only player that has not switched positions now in this game is Derek Inqui at third base.
That's a good point.
That ball was catchable for Rhett Stafford and just misplayed it. Went off the wall.
Two count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Was a nice strikeout for Jimmy Brennan. I think that was his first ever.
It looked like he took something off that one to Kyle Johnson.
Well, maybe a changeup. The Gulls finally improved to 19-12 with a win here.
I'm sure they're gonna get that. Just a hunch. In the dirt for ball one. That didn't quite cross home plate. For Kyle Johnson or David Bentrop. It's somebody. I've been so confused by all the outfield changes that I don't know who's up to bat anymore.
Today.
Well, Benny's
There's a
here.
nice hit over, and it's going to be caught for the final out of the inning. Will the Gulls get one more run to make it 18-1 with 21 hits off of 2 hits this specific inning, and no errors and 2 pitching changes by the position players, and we're going to go into the bottom of the 9th for Danbury when we return on the NECBL network. Welcome back to Newport for the bottom of the 9th inning, because technically right now Danbury is the home team as this game started in Rogers Park.
We have a new pitcher on the hill for the Newport Gulls, making his 6th appearance of the season. He's made 2 starts. It's David Palms. Left-hander, started opening day. He has a 3.44 ERA and 18 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 8 runs, 7 of those earned. He has factored in 2 decisions. He's 1-1 on the season. Be here to try and hold down the 9th. Dexter Price started this game on the 22nd. Pat Light came in relief of him in the 4th today. And now it's David Palms, the 3rd pitcher of the night.
I'm kind of half tempted to ask Coach Shevchuk if I could come in to bat. If I can get a hit.
Maybe not off David Palms. He's been a steady reliever for this club this year.
Maybe because I'm a girl, he'll toss lightly to me.
So Pat Light is in fact in line for the win here. It'll be his 5th win as it is 18-1. Unless Danbury rallies for 18 here in the 9th inning.
I would be pretty impressed. That'd be another part of the record books we'd see.
That would be I'm just going to assume it would be the largest comeback in any CBL history.
That would be.
I'm sure. Up to bat now for the Westerners is Derek Ingley, who doubled his last time up at bat.
So I think the largest comeback I've ever seen at a game was the Mother's Day Miracle. The Red Sox, 6 runs in the 9th inning.
Well, that kind of sounds like us against Bristol. We were down 6-0. We won 7-6. First pitch is swung on and hit foul. Count 0-1 now on Ingley. With 2 of our position hitters gone, I don't know what we're going to do. Swing and a miss, strike 2. For when they get up to bat, this should be interesting. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Stay tuned after the game for Newport Gulls post-game show. We'll have our exclusive player of the game interview. And of course, the pregame show for Game 2 coming up should be at 6:08. We'll wait to see what the final, the start time is officially for Game 2.
First pitch is popped up. Might have a play here. No play. Looks like it almost hit him in the head. He just kind of sits there for a second.
It was a good try by Kenny. I'll watch here on the replay. I'll see if our camera caught any of that. No, we didn't. Yep. Oh, well.
Well, right today, the play for the Gulls. Matt Blow, Brendan Kelleher. Matt went 4 for 5, 3 doubles, a 2-run homer, and a walk. Kelleher 4 for 6 with a double. Connor Harrow 2 for 3, 3 walks and a double. Derek Legg 3 for 4, 3 RBI.
The 0-1. Called strike on the outside corner.
That's the bottom of the order. Kevin Caranto, who batted 5th, went 3 for 6. Top of the order, Johnson 2 for 6, an RBI and a walk. Bentrot 1 for 6, 2 RBI. DeKroger 1 for 5, a walk, a 3-run homer. And Nugent 1 for 5, 2 RBI.
That was ripped to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. And the Westerners are down to their last now, out in the form of Brian Konecki, the shortstop.
So for 2, popped the second, struck out looking. Into the game for Hajar, who had been 1 for 1 with a single and stolen base back on June 22nd.
Just mentioned he's out for the season.
Torn hamstring. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Inside for ball 2.
Game running long. The doubleheader Game 2 is scheduled. First pitch a little under an hour, 59 minutes away.
Little chopper that bounces foul, so the count is now 2-1. The 2-1 count on Konecki. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The 2-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. In the dirt for ball 3.
Chris Pava, the scoreboard operator, acting right now. Son of General Manager Chuck Pava.
It's a full 3-2 count on Konecki.
It's classic.
The 3-2. Ball 4, so it's a walk to Konecki. And the Westerners stay alive and have Thor Meeks up to bat now.
Off again. Bringing together a couple more walks. Cut this lead to 17. This game
And it's been a
does not
wild
want
one.
to end.
Meeks walked in his only appearance so far this game.
She mentioned competing the All-Star Home Run Derby.
Inside for ball 1.
Game 2, Mark Appel, the starter for Newport. Should be underway in about an hour.
This swung on and hit hard over to center field. Going back is the center fielder. Oh, and he dropped it for a base hit, and it looks like Kanaki's going to run in and score with a stand-up double by Thor Meeks. So it is now it's 18-2. That's an RBI double by Thor Meeks.
So the Gulls will not set the record here for the largest margin of victory over an opponent, as they now can only tie that record with 16 runs against Danbury in 2007 and their 16-0 win.
It looks like Williams is actually going to be coming up to bat now, even though he pitched.
Well,
Wasn't sure.
when you elect to lose the designated hitter, the pitcher has to bat.
Fair point.
So
Fair point. That almost hit him for ball 1.
Fastball is overthrown by Palms inside. He's in a hurry to end this one. He just needs to focus, get that final out.
And just breathe. Ball is hard hit over to left field, or right field, excuse me, and it's going to hit the roof of the warehouse for a foul ball.
it's actually going to stay up there.
So it's a 1-1 count on Williams.
Now it rolls down. And looks like Derek Leggs have to run all the way into the corner in the outfield to grab it and throw a ball in.
You can't even see that corner in there.
Well, there's no real good way to get a good camera of it other than our left field camera, operated by Joe Laughlin.
Yep, there we are right there.
Yeah.
The 1-1.
Oh.
2-1 count now on Williams. This has pretty much been as long as any other normal game. It is hit past the pitcher, almost kind of hit him in the face, and Meeks is going to slide into third there for a 2-out single. There was no way Meeks would have gotten home for that one.
It's 9 hits now for Danbury. Of course, they've been out hit 21-9.
Actually, if you watch another replay, Palms almost caught that with his glove with almost a backhand.
Brett Stafford now up to bat for the Westerners. He is the first run of the game for the home run to straightaway center field.
We're doing a 1-0 pitch back in the 6th.
Upstairs and in for ball 1.
This game just does not want to end.
Stafford 1 for 3, bounced into a 5-4-3 double play back on June 22nd. Slide to left.
Upstairs again for ball 2. We're starting to show life in here for the Westerners, showing us why we are first place, but a little bit too late in the game, I'd have to say. Upstairs again, ball 3, the count 3-0.
It wasn't the hitting that let him down. Pitching. This game started today here at Cardines. 2-0 the score. And the Gulls had 6 in the 4th, 7 in the 5th. First 2 innings played here. This game was quickly over.
In there for strike.
Skulls have another doubleheader scheduled at home this season. Make up a game that's right now against Laconia. Rain out from June. I'll be here on July 28th. 3 o'clock start time, game 1 for that one, not 3:30. I think they should have started this one at 3 o'clock. Those are both the 7-inning contests, though.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Now the Westerners down to their final strike.
With a full count to Stafford. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Westerners get 1 run back on the board, but they lose this one 18-2. Final scoreboard, Newport had 18 runs off 21 hits and no errors in the game. The Danbury Westerners had 2 runs off 9 hits and 2 errors. The winning pitcher is going to be turned over to Nick.
Thank you very much. We'll have the Newport Gulls post-game report coming up in just a few moments here of totals, stats, standings, our exclusive player of the game interview, and much more. This one is mercifully over here at Cardines Field. The final score: Newport Gulls win it 18-2. We'll be back. The postgame report is next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field, as this one, a wild one, over now. Newport Gulls win 18-2 for the Gulls. For the visiting team, 18 runs on 21 hits, a new franchise record in both of those categories. No errors, they left 11 on base. For the Danbury Westerners, 2 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors, they stranded 7. Pat Light will actually get the win in this one. He went 5 innings, allowed just 1 earned run, 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He improves to 5-0. And Lahman gets the loss. Lahman, believe it or not, gets the no decision. It was Krakowiak who gets the loss in this one, who is not even on the team anymore. But Lahman, who came in when the game resumed for the Westerners, went just 2 innings, 12 runs, 7 earned on 10 hits, 4 walks, a strikeout, allowed 2 home runs. So he stays at 2-2, no save, as the Gulls had David Palms come out to finish the last of the night. There were 3 home runs in this game. Stafford hit one in the 6th inning. Kane Kroger had his second home run of the season. That came in the 4th. And Matt Blow had his second home run of the season also in the 4th inning. The game took 2 hours and 8 minutes to play. It was watched by a crowd of 211 here at Cardines Field. So, we'll have our exclusive interview with our Newport Gulls player of the game. That's coming up next. Newport will face Danbury later on tonight. Less than an hour away, 6:35 scheduled first pitch. That may be delayed. We'll find out shortly. That's next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Mark Appel to have the start against Kevin Kilpatrick. Makes his return for Cardines Field. That will be in Game 2 coming up later tonight. For now, the Newport Gulls postgame report continues. No action or scores report from around the league. This is the only day game, as the Newport Gulls roll past the Danbury Westerners, the largest victory of the season, 18-2, the highest scoring game in franchise history. Newport wins 18-2 the final. George Bissell and I will be down the field with our Gulls players of the game. That's next on the ACBL Broadcast Network.
OW, for those of you who can't spell.
Welcome back here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls post-game report continues, now joined by Newport Gulls player of the game, Matt Blow. First, Matt, congratulations on the victory to the whole team here this afternoon. The biggest victory of the season. The Gulls bats came alive with an 18-2 win.
Yeah, it was good. Everyone's swinging it well right now. I think everybody's seeing it, and hopefully we can keep this rolling.
Now, what's the key now to keep this rolling into Game 2? Of course, it'll be a whole new dynamic, and with a new pitcher on the mound.
Yeah, it's going to be different, but baseball is baseball. It'll work itself out, and everybody's seeing the ball well and swinging it well. So as long as our pitching staff keeps up and defense and whatnot, I think we'll be okay.
Had your second home run of the season. It was a laser.
Yeah, I'm glad. I was looking first pitch fastball and whatnot. Glad I was able to get it and put a good swing on it.
George?
Matt, we were joking around in the pregame show. We were talking about how you would go 4 for 4 with a 3-run homer. You only had a 2-run homer. You let me down, man. What happened?
No, not enough people on base, I guess.
So regardless, a great game. How do you keep that competitive drive even when you're up 18 runs? Stay focused and just keep pushing out there.
I mean, that's the great thing about baseball. You can go up there and it's just one at bat at a time, one pitch at a time. You always break it down just little by little. So I think that's what everybody did, and it just kept building.
Pat Light picked up his 5th win in the game. Mark Appel going for another win in the next start. What do you guys need to do to get a win in the doubleheader, the second game?
With our pitching staff, we're always going to get quality starts out there and whatnot, and so we just got to put up some runs for them, keep playing defense, and we'll be all right.
All right, great job. Keep hitting those home runs. Don't use them all up today. Save them for the All-Star game.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Ash, Matt, before you go, just how are you enjoying your stay so far overall here in Newport?
Oh, it's awesome. I absolutely love it. It's a great town, great group of guys, great ownership, great coaches, everything about it. I'm just loving it. So it's worked out so well so far.
Matt, congratulations again on the win today, and your hits, 3 doubles and a big 2-run blast.
Thank you very much.
That's our player of the game, Matt Blow. Matt, again, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thanks.
Post-game report continues now. Let's pause for a moment and thank those who made this broadcast possible. The executive producer of Newport Gulls Baseball and our director, Tom Lima. Our on-site engineer, Jason Jazanowski. Associate producer, Everton Carter. Audio technician, Joe Laughlin. The statistician, Josh Leibowitz. For George Bissell, I'm Nick Lima here at Cardines Field. The Gulls win it 18-2 in spectacular fashion here in Game 1. Game 2 to follow here on the ACBR Broadcast Network. We'll be on the air. The pregame show, 6:08. First pitch, 6:35. So stay with us as we'll continue on the air here as Game 2 coming up. Markapil, Harrison stop for the Newport Gulls. And until we see you then, so long, everybody. See you in 5 minutes.